Networking Squared, Jerry O here, Angela Vose, and she is from Morgan Stanley Smith Barney in Birmingham, Michigan. Can you tell us where your office is and a contact information for you?
For sure. We are in Woodward next to the Hunter House, just north of 15 Mile. The entrance is on Park Street.
Okay.
And my phone number there is 248-258-2726. And my email is angela.vose, V-O-H-S, at morganstanleysmithbarney.com.
Okay. Great stuff, Al. I know you were writing furiously during the break here. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is something where I guess what I'm really looking for is to say, I know there are people out there that think they can do this themselves. And what our point was when we put this show together is Jerry and I know that we're good at networking, but we know that there's a lot of other things out there that we are not experts in. And that's the reason that we want to have people like yourself on our show, so that people understand they shouldn't do these things themselves. I had a situation where a friend who made multi-million dollars, he actually had bought Microsoft at $15 and sold it at $150. So he made about $5 million, and now he's broke. So it was something he managed himself, and unfortunately didn't manage it well. So it sounded good, but ultimately it doesn't work out. So please talk about that, about people who try to do this themselves.
You know, it's people that have a little bit of success like your friend did, and then they have all these millions of dollars, think that they're going to be the next Warren Buffett, you know, and it's a lot more than just getting lucky on one lucky stock and riding it to the top. There's a lot more planning involved. And I don't know if anybody gambles. You eventually just need to take some money off to the side, get a plan, and you can still have your play money. I know people who are out there that like to do it themselves, and I allow them to have their play money. And, you know, have your Scottrade account, have your American Trump, play with that. But give me your safe money, the money that you want to be there when you retire, and I will do something amazing with that for them.
How much time do you feel that you spend a week on research on the information that you share?
That's my second job. I mean, it really is. Morgan Stanley is amazing. They have an awesome research department for us. You know, we have that access at our fingertips, which is the best of the best people in New York with stocks and equities and bonds. I mean, we have the best bond desk and fixed income desk really in the whole country. But so that's huge to be able to just have that at my fingertips. But in addition to that, there is a ton of research. I can't even tell you how many hours a week I'm always reading the Journal or reading Barron's or you know, I'm a CNBC sucker too. It's good to get another opinion and listen to what other people are saying if you know what they're talking about.
So dealing with you is really the best of both worlds, because you have a major company that's backing you, but at the same time, you're still doing that grunt work that's getting those little things, those little aspects that are always being covered.
Exactly. And one other thing I might say about Morgan Stanley is they do a lot of the grunt work as far as making sure we only have the best of the best investments.
Okay, so
foreign star, you know, mutual funds, that kind of thing.
You know, we're just going to get into that mutual fund stuff. The kind of customer that you're looking for, if we have people listening in today and we have some young people that might say, I'm too young to get involved, or some medium age, I want to know what kind of customers are you looking for? I mean, are you just looking for somebody that's going to say, look, I've got $1.5 million portfolio, I want you to take care of it? That's good for you, right?
Sure.
Are you still willing to work with the young people?
Oh, for sure. That's the most important. Yeah,
Really?
It really is, because they're not going to get to be that millionaire unless they start saving right now.
So if somebody said, okay, or one of our listeners, if we have listeners with children, I go, you know what, I want you to call Angela. Can they come and sit down in your office and just say, look, I know nothing about this. I've just got a job. I'm trying to pay off my car. I got my car insurance. I've got a little bit of money left over. What should I do with it? And can you help develop a plan?
Absolutely. And really, for kids, how I liken it is, you know, treat your retirement plan, that $5,000, as a bill. You have a car bill, and this is your house bill. Think of it as a heating bill, an electric bill. It's a bill that you have to pay every month. And if you start thinking of it that way, and that money goes into these retirement plans, it will be huge for them when they're ready to retire.
I think there's so many people today that live for today, and they're not really thinking about tomorrow. They're not thinking about that. And I think really what they need to do is to look at their family. Look at your parents, look at your grandparents, and see, are they struggling? Are they living the lifestyle that you really want to live when you hit that age?
Right.
And what you don't want to do is repeat the things that they've done. If they are successful, I guarantee you it is because they have a financial planner.
Right. And you probably have heard this a lot, but you need to pay yourself first. We're all quick to give companies, Sprint or Verizon or AT&T, all this money for phone and TV and internet, but we're not going to give ourselves money that we can count on to retire.
Okay, so when you have this money, now, I get pretty confused, but you have mutual funds, you have annuities, you have, what kind of, what do you have? Where do we put it? And is that what you do? And do you explain that to us?
Oh, for sure. I'll explain everything. And there's definitely a need for everything right now. Annuities have just changed and evolved so much that they're really a new great tool for retirement planning and a much needed tool that might actually maybe eventually replace Social Security. Probably not, but it's a very important
and
tool.
And mutual funds still very important? Mm-hmm. Okay. How many mutual funds are there today?
I think over 14,000.
Oh, my.
Wow. Yeah.
Now, Angela, I know that you also handle long-term care.
Right.
And most people may not know that half of your medical expenses come in those last 5 years of your life.
That's exactly right.
So that's really something you have to prepare for. So you are a big help to people. That's not a burden you want to worry about or maybe push onto your family that they have to take care of after you're gone.
That's exactly right. And a lot of people are having problems outliving their retirement money that they have put aside, and they've kind of blown through a lot of that. And then all of a sudden they get sick and need long-term care, and they're out of their retirement funds. And so then it really does become a burden, and it really doesn't need to be.
And then at that point, you can't even help them.
It's too little, too late.
Yeah. Okay.
If somebody's working with a financial planner, how do they know what's a guidepost or what's something that they can look at to know if that person's doing a good job for them?
Well, you really have to listen to people, what their risk tolerance is, what they're willing to put up with, so to speak, the volatility in the market. If they can see a 10 to 20% fluctuation up or down either way in their portfolio and they're okay with that because they know they might be able to get 50% gains, that's one thing. And I can take a look and I can analyze risk within a portfolio and say, you know what, you are taking on way too much unnecessary risk for the amount of returns that you're getting.
Well, can you share what the returns have been for your clients?
I can, and just as a disclaimer, thanks to FINRA and the SEC, previous returns that I have experienced this last year are not an indicator of future results or future returns, but I have clients that had fixed income portfolios that had returns of 14% last year, and I have people with more aggressive, moderate to aggressive portfolios that returned 23%.
That's pretty amazing stuff. What's the first step, Angela? Let's say that they have somebody that they were set up with and they really didn't know this person. They just sent them over their money and they're going, you know what, I really want to take a more active view on what I'm doing here. And they wanted to give you a call. What happens?
So we sit down and meet, and we decide. The first thing I will do is give you an honest second opinion on your portfolio or investments. And I'll say, you know what, whoever you're with has done an amazing job. Stay with them.
Really?
Unless
okay.
For some reason you like me better and want to move, of course I'll take that. But I will tell someone, there are some great financial planners out there and you have to give them credit. Although nowadays there are a lot that are not so great. And I'm the first to tell you either way, I'll take a good look at your portfolio, and if it needs to be changed, I will tell you why the changes need to be made, what changes need to be made, before that happens. So we will have these conversations. I will show someone, the errors or the holes in their portfolio that maybe need to be plugged up and reduce risk so that you can, still get good returns. So for me, downside protection is the most important thing.
I think that what we're really looking at here is peace of mind. I think that there's people that are really, really scared of what's going on. And I think that have a free look at their portfolio to either say you're doing a great job or there are some things that you need to address can really position people so that in their upcoming years, they can have a better feeling inside that they're doing the right things.
Exactly right.
Well, what I've seen and as we've talked over this week and then this morning, the pre-production, you seem to have this maternal instinct and you actually want to take care of these people. And that's what I got. You're going, no, I want to take care of this. So if they are a conservative investor, you really want them to be a conservative investor and let them know why.
Right.
And if they want to roll the dice, so to speak,
we can do that too. but it has to be the right person. They have to know and understand the risks. And I think a lot of people aren't out there and not explaining the risks to their clients. And then they call them up and say, hey, what just happened? Why is my portfolio down 20%? I didn't know that could happen. And people have to know what can happen with their portfolio.
Well, we've watched it with what happened in Japan, and that is going to be a huge impact. But it could also be a positive impact as they rebuild. There will be money to be made there. And
Right.
as we talked about in the copper side of it, getting invested in that. But when we have these crazy things going on in the Middle East, and we have these crazy things going on with the tsunamis and stuff, are you getting phone calls?
Oh, for sure. For sure. Morgan Stanley actually handled the GM IPO, and if you've noticed, oil prices are a direct response on what happens with all the big three. So Ford and Toyota and GM have been down, and they've been calling me like crazy. What's going on? Sell, sell, sell.
All right. We're going to get to your contact information, wrap up this interview. Networking Squared, Saturday morning. Are you learning, Al?
I'm learning. My head hurts.
All right. We are Networking Squared. We'll be right back.